Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council, and today on Coffee Time we were talking about OCG format versus the TCG format. Who's got it better? It's pretty much what we do once a year at least around this time, because it's fun to theorize who actually does have it better and basically look at what's been happening in the past couple of months, year or so, and who really does have the better format. Now this is opinionated, so share your opinion in a constructive, hating manner, let's put it that way, because a lot of people just get really ragey over things. Everyone sees the game in their own version, and I just wanted this to be like the starting part. That won't get into the media discussion. Everyone sees the game in their own way, so if you don't see it the same way, that's perfectly fine, because you are a different person. Obviously, you have your own views and opinions on Yu-Gi-Oh! That's how it is. That's kind of the thing here. No, I'm not scared of your comments. I just don't want you guys killing each other or something we don't have control over. I just like theorizing things like this. So, before we get into this video completely, there's a channel update. If you don't like the channel update, just skip ahead about a minute. It's pretty quick. So, over this past weekend, videos have been fairly a little bit slow here on this channel. Fair enough to say, like one a day. Mikey went to Comic-Con New York, got some footage. I'm still editing some of that footage together for the Council Network. And I got Star Wars Battlefront beta footage, which is something we're working with on the Council Network and the Gaming Council. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Gaming Council, there's always a link down in the description. And it's pretty much going to be our gaming channel where we're all going to go on and play video games. So you can go watch us play video games and stuff. It's so cool. I try to make it fun. So that's launching on the 21st, and that's pretty much why the videos have been slowing down. Yeah, I was feeling like shit. And yeah, DevPro is still down, and that does hinder it to an extent. But primarily, when I get super heavy editing, because we're talking like 4 or 5 hours of Star Wars Battlefront footage and trying to pick the best pieces of it to basically create something for the Council Network, and then take all the rest and put it on the Gaming Council in a way that you guys have yet to see it. It's kind of one of those things, and it's going to be a lot of post-commentary stuff, so it's a lot of work. And that's kind of just getting the groundwork done for that channel. And that's kind of like the weekends are the easiest time for me to do it, because the weekdays are just too busy. Because like right now, if this video even goes up on time, I'm actually heading out to do IRL dual videos with Mikey, and then basically talk about eBay stuff, because I know you guys bring it to my attention that eBay's still down when it comes to stuff for us. Because we kind of get like seasonal where we don't have time to really commit to it 100%. Because I'm super busy trying to launch everything and then do my career. And Mikey's trying to get his career by going to college. And everyone else is just like working and whatnot. So just have a little patience. We get everything done. So what I'm actually going to do in this whole thing is I'm going to start with the OCG side and then go into the TCG side. And we're going to put 10 minutes on that clock. Because I'm insane. Let's do this. Alright. So OCG actually has recently, we're talking about their recent format, banned Norden and Plotamius. Plotamius is the key to infinity and beyond, and basically, yeah, the Utopia. They also limited, did they limit it? Yes, they limited Deep Sea Diva, which was semi-limited. They limited Shadow Mist. They have Stratos, just so that's clear. They hit Glow Up Bulb. No, they put Glow Up Bulb to 1. I'm sorry, he just came back. They hit Shuret of the Necrolits, because Necrolits was still doing good out there. Wasn't dominating. I know what's dominating, and I'm going to get to that in a second. And Insight Magician. Insight Magician is an interesting hit. Semi-limited. They have Curry Bandit, Mermail Bistris, Evil Gashiki Gus Kraken, Allure of Darkness, Book of Moon, Charger Light Brigade, Dragon Shrine, Gateway of the Six, Gold Sark, Mind Control, Crush, and Sinister Shadow Games. No longer on the list, they put Gale finally back to 3, Dark Magician Chaos at 3 with the errata, Chaos Emperor at 3 with the errata, Bubble Man they limited, but now they hit Shadow Mist, Honest to 3, Manju to 3, Formula Synchron to 3, Mighty to 3, Insufusion to 3, Magical Sonic Evacuation, Bottomless, and Transmigration Prophecy all 3. Just so you're in the know of what that OCG list is, and I'll let you put up cards talking about it. So, Perform Agent Pals is the #1 dominant deck, and then pretty much it goes like Necrolits and I guess Magicians to an extent. What I don't fully understand is why they would hit Magicians right off the bat. I mean, they're not... Let's be honest. The real problem OCG is having is Perform Agent Pals. We're going to get there, And pretty much the big three decks are Necrots, Before Mage and Pals, and Monarchs. Those are the big three decks. Each one of those is different from the other. Here at TCG Land, we all know the format, so I'm not going to go over that part, but we're going to go just into straight in OCG. OCG has Harpy's Feather Duster, because Heavy Storm is good for pendulum breaking. They have Card Destruction. They have one Dark Hole. They do not have Raigeki. Just making that clear. They do not have Raigeki. They have Super Polymerization, Super Rejuvenation. These are all at 1. Monster Reborn. Their Infernities are at 3. Just keeping it real here. Their fucking Infernities are at 3. Their Curry Bandit is at 2. Their Mizuki is still at 2. Their Reborn Tengu is still at 2. Their DeLorean's at 2. Book of Moon at 2. So there are some things here that even me personally I don't like. Now, Necrot Cycle is at 1 in OCG Land. And Dragon Ravine still at 1 in OCG Land. So there are some things here, and Bryo and Unicorn are at 1 in OCG Land. So they slapped the shit out of Necrots, to be fair. Here's the thing, though. You have to ask yourself, as either a casual player or a competitive player, wherever you fall under, because I think those are pretty much the two biggest categories of Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, when it comes to it. And Armageddon Knight is limited out there. Just making that also known. There's a lot of what the fuck limits. Blackwings actually did top 5, but that was a smaller event, just so that's clear. They also hit Star Seraph Sovereign and Summoner Monk and Blaze Phoenix. So there's a lot of OCG stuff I tend to like because of Blaze Phoenix and Harpy's Feather Duster. I like Backrow Hate and Card Destruction, Dark Hole. You have all these power cards with each other. Here's the thing I don't like. Here's the one thing I really don't like. OCG hits decks that people don't want to stop playing. Like, say the casual side, right? Goes to a tournament and they want to play Heroes. Konami of USA is like, okay, you're gonna lose, but go ahead. Now, in the off chance it wins, Konami of TCG doesn't go. They hit everything. They don't slap it on the wrist, and that's what I'm doing. I'm slapping on the wrist. They don't do that here in TCG Land. OCG, forget it. You're constantly topping with that deck, multiple players, Heroes, Blackwings, whatever. We're going to hit it till you stop playing it, and you start playing Before Mage and Pals, Monarchs, or whatever new we got coming out. That's kind of what they do. And I'm not saying that's the right kind of mindset. I'm not saying the TCG mindset's right, but we'll get into that in about a minute and a half here. When it comes down to the OCG side, they have one hell of an interesting format. Don't get me wrong. It is amazing, and I've played it before, and it's ever-changing, and the players there are goddamn creative, and they basically, whatever they want to play, however they want to build a deck, there's no right, there's no wrong, they just make it work. And that's the beautiful thing about OCG that I think is the takeaway from it. Do I want their list completely? Hell no. And there's a lot of reasons I say hell no to that. Because I see it in I see this perfect vision of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's where everyone can play what they want, and everyone's on the same playing field, and that's extremely hard to get to. And that would take multiple lists upon lists to get there. But that's kind of the thing I get excited for. Now, they also have Mathematician at 1. So a lot of those, lower tier decks here that, in TCG Land that can compete to a certain extent, they can't really compete in OCG. OCG is a very interesting place. Let's talk about the TCG side. We've had the same 5 decks really be the king of decks, let's put it that way. Shaddoll, Necrots, Cleafort, Burning Abyss, and Cleafort, Burning Abyss, Necrots. I believe I said all 5. If I haven't, you guys know the 5. Now, Cosmos are starting to enter the fray to a certain extent. Infernoids are topping 1 or 2 events. They'll probably get hyped. It's kind of one of those things that just really took people by surprise. TCG has been this dull, ever-shifting, slow-paced kind of thing. And when I say ever-shifting, where you get a little bit of excitement, and you hope for that ban list, and Konami says no. And what happens with Konami is that they basically don't want to address issues. They don't want to put out ban lists on time. But again, Konami is just kind of dumb at times when it comes to things because they're in charge of Kevin Stewart, and that's the guy we're going to blame here. I'm not trying to pick on him, but that's the head of research and development on Konami, and that's pretty much the guy who makes you your ban list. So, yeah, we can blame him. Konami and TCG has done a few things right. They have done many wrongs by many people. Now, I know there's an advocate, I'm going to use that word, for every single deck that's out there, and you don't want your deck hit, I don't want my deck hit, whatever. Remember I talked about that perfect format of everyone being able to play what they want outside of FTK and troll decks? I wish we can get there. We're not going to get there anytime soon, though. But, in all seriousness, the one thing I feel with the TCG side, you play meta, it's extremely dull. It's the same 5 decks over and over and over again. You have like Towers Turbo, and you have Necrots, and then you have Shadolts. And I don't mean to talk down about it. I'm not trying to take the skill away from it. When those 2 decks go into the fray, and they're in the same skill level, or they're close to, it's a very skillful match. And that may be enjoyable to you. But to the masses of Yu-Gi-Oh!, that gets very dull. We want change. We want new. We want something fun to play. We don't want to play the same deck for those 9 to 10 months. 6 months, maybe. 9 to 10, I'm starting to get dull with that. I want a new toy to play with. That's kind of the premises here. Some of you may disagree with my statements in this video. And some of you may just say, well, TCG's got the better side of things. Because OCG has Harpy's Feather Duster, and Harpy's Feather Duster is broken. I had advocated for Heavy Storm to come back because it's on both sides. It's a double-bladed sword. The psychological mindset that your mind has to go into when playing during the format of Heavy Storm is a fun, theatrical mess, and I love it. It's kind of the chaotic way I like my Yu-Gi-Oh! Not everyone likes it that way. I respect that. And I won't sit here and be the advocate behind the Heavy Storm return of 2015 or the Harpy's Feather Duster return of 2015-2016. I won't be that guy. What I am trying to say is simply this. I believe OCG, for the 90% of the part, has a better format than we do. Because it's a better mindset just as much as it's a better format. And some of you care or disagree. That's perfectly fine. But at least OCG got shaken up quite more than once. And if you go here on YouTube, or you go on Pojo, or you go wherever forum, wherever Dueling Network, wherever you go, and you ask the majority of people, they're going to tell you this game gets very dull very quickly. Because it's the same meta decks over and over again. And don't get me wrong, if I was playing meta, I would still say it's still dull and boring. I didn't want to play Teledad for 9 months. I was happy when it died, I'm sorry. I was extremely happy because it died, and then you get something new, and then something new creates new matchups, and it makes your mind think, and then you get into these new matches, and then you hit your pinnacle of potential in those first 3 months, and then you got those 3 months to shine, and then you get rid of the deck, and you go into the next format. That's pretty much where I'm coming from. I've started with this game since it was in infancy, and I've watched it to this point. I'm not going to leave it because I think one side has it better than the other. OCG mindsets are better. OCG formats are not always better. I mean, shit. I love my heroes. And I love that they hit Norden. I love that they hit Plotamius. They hit the issues. But the trade-off of Stratos to Shadow Mist is just... I'd rather have the Shadow Mist at 3 than ever have Stratos back. And I know many of you will say free Stratos. But you gotta look at the cost of it. I would love to have Lava Lull Chain back. Which I still believe it's innocent. And the real hits for Necrots were done in OCG how they should be done in TCG. Not saying exactly down to the same way, but to a certain degree that chain wasn't the problem. Because the new Burning Abyss one does pretty much the same fucking thing that did, and hey, what did that do? Hey, well, it's probably just push this down and get you to buy it. And while we're on the subject of mindsets about a minute and a half ago, the TCG mindset is, you buy new product! You buy new products! You love us! You buy new product! And it's just, I hate that. I'm not saying I don't want to go out and buy stuff for this game. It's a hobby. It's expensive. I'm perfectly fine with that. What I hate is the mindset that comes into it where it's, well, if I'm going to buy this new stuff and it's only going to be good for like a month because you're releasing this broken stuff, I'm just going to wait that month and get that broken stuff. And that's kind of the problem here. It doesn't just come down to ban lists. It comes down to lazy ass Konami of USA. And yes, I'm calling them lazy because they don't want to update the ban list. They just go, well, we'll put it out when we want to, and we'll make you guys just sweat it with PTSD status. Post-traumatic stress disorder, for those of you who don't know. At the end of the day, we have no control over these lists. I personally believe right now, TCG has a better list outside of one or two things. Personally, over the past couple of years, OCG definitely. Right now, TCG. Why? Because 5 decks versus 2 topping is a hell of a lot better. And I think we can all agree on that. But we're pretty much going to go into that OCG format where we're playing against Perform Mage and Pals. And I'm perfectly fine with it. But what I'm not perfectly fine is, what comes after is going to be Magi Spectres. Can't stand the Magi Spectres. Sorry. Little wind beasts are annoying. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think is better. The OCG format, the OCG meta, or the TCG meta, the TCG format. Wherever it is, regardless if you play the meta or not. If you don't play the meta, just tell me what format you like better. What deck pools do you like better? What do you like to play better? Do you like to play OCG or TCG if you had an option? If you're a meta player, let me know what format you think is better. Do you think TCG has it better or OCG currently? And tell me your reasons why down in the comments below, and we'll create a discussion pool together, like a community should. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Make sure to check out the videos and the annotations as always, because it'll take you to more videos that maybe you'll find enjoyable. If not, it's cool. Just make sure to rate the video, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to check out our other channels, not just here. The Pokemon Council, the Gaming Council, and the Council Network. Now, to be fair, the Gaming Council isn't going to be launched the 21st of this month, but you can still check it out when it launches, or right now, and you just hit the subscribe button and see what happens. So pretty much if you like our content here, and any of that sounds enjoyable to you, and the other channels, because Council Network is pretty much just like talking about TV and comic books, then go check them out. And thank you for